Hi guys. Good. Well, hi. So let's talk about our numbers from July. Okay. So in the previous video we spoke about June, and in June we said we had made the best or our highest number for the year. Actually, our highest number since we started actually keeping very meticulous records. June has been the best. And in June also, I think there was one other person under the comment section who said they also had one of their best months in their own history of ride sharing. So I was very happy for him as well. I also had like the best month in June. So you get. So June was the best month so far. Now let's talk about July. Before now, I'd always talked about how July is not necessarily all that great. Towards the end, especially when the kids are going on holidays, it tends to dry up a little bit. So we may be seeing a little bit of that here. And in the last video, I had said, God's willing, I wanted to review some other person's number this month, right? I was hoping that we would stop. We've been doing my own review for a couple of 1 year plus now. So I wanted to see what other people's numbers were like so we can make a comparison, analyze, and see whatever. So I put out a notice, and thankfully one person reached out with their own numbers. Not in the most detailed form, but I was so grateful for it, I must say. Okay, so very briefly, very briefly, we're going to breeze through my own, and then we'll take some time to analyze this other person's numbers. They're quite interesting, so I need you to stay around and see. All right, let's get into it. Before we do that, I had posted a video last time about the new ride-sharing app TRUBOOKER, right? And I made a very elaborate review of the app. Okay, so if you've gone through it, I don't know how many of you have gone through it, but if you've gone through it, you'll see what I was trying to say about the app being something that was built for the drivers. I've been having a back and forth communication with the owners of the app, right? And it just seems like, man, their project is for you and it's for me. Okay, it's an app that is built to create autonomy for drivers. It's an app that benefits the drivers. The driver is king. So, but before they launch, they have said they needed drivers to get on board. That's why I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you to invite other people and to share the message and all that and get as much people, much drivers to be precise, as much drivers as you can on board because they're about to launch. Now, if they are going to launch and then the customers want to start using, they need drivers to be on board. So that's why I'm also reminding you guys, get on board. Okay, it's a very wonderful project. I don't even have to sell it to you. Just go download the app and see for yourself. All right, it's a very wonderful app. Okay, let's get back to it. So there were 4 Sundays in the month of July, and as usual, we work only twice in the week. One on Friday, one on Sunday. On Friday is a half day, on Sunday is a full day. All right, so let's talk about it. On Friday, our gross was 23. On Sunday, it was 73. And the next week Friday was 26. The next Sunday was 72. And then the next week Friday was 21. Then the Sunday was 67. Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about, wherein the student or the children started going on holidays or universities or whatever. Just the school started going on holiday for some reason. You just find that there's a decline in just how frequently you get orders. Okay, so and then the last Friday was 22, and then the Sunday was 66. Okay, and then I made a total expenditure or expenses on the car, basically bordering on maintenance, or if I change something. I did an oil change, which is the servicing of the car, and then I think I changed one of my tires. Okay, it got a bit bumpy, so it was kind of shaking the whole vehicle. So all of those expenditures brought me to around 35,000 for the month of July. Okay, so everything taken into consideration, I don't think it was a bad month at all. Like it wasn't even close to a bad month, to be honest. But it's to be understood, considering the realities and everything. Now, let's talk about this other number. This is not mine. This person has sent their own number, and their work system is quite interesting to me. Now, this person works a 9 to 5 job. So they go out in the morning, they work in an office. I don't know the specifics, but they work in an office. So he said he starts at 5 p.m. Not 5:30 p.m. Okay, every evening, and then he goes until he's able to amass at least 20,000 in gross profit. This is what he says. Okay, so he didn't give me like a closing time. He just gave me a time at which it's for him it's okay to go home. Essentially, what that means is if he gets started at 5:30 and then he's able to clock a gross profit, a gross of 20,000 by 8 p.m., he's done for the day. He's done for the night. So now he works after work. He tries to get gross profit of 20, and then he goes home, and he does this from Monday through to Friday. He doesn't work Saturdays, he doesn't work Sundays, so no weekend work for him. And he said from his own experience, he has averaged around 20K most of the nights that he goes out. Most of the night he has always averaged around 20K in gross, by the way. And then in a week that would raise it to around 100,000, right, each week, which is good, which is the same goal we had, coming into this year. We said we wanted to make 100,000 every week in gross, but I guess this person is even doing it so easily. And then he said his profit for the week comes around 45 to 50K. Now, this was where I thought there was a bit of a problem here. Now, remember in the past I had said, if your profit margin does not fall within the range of 60% and above, there may be some practices that may be hindering your profitability progress. I don't know. It's kind of like the causing a shortcoming when it comes to your profit, because 60% and above, all things considered, should be the normal acceptable amount. Okay, so by that metrics, he should be making somewhere around 60K or 65K after a gross profit of around 100K. He didn't also give me the details like the car he uses, the brand of the car, the capacity of the engine, whether it's a CNG or petrol. There are just some details that may be missing, but so I'm going to make some speculation. I'm going to make some assumptions here. All right, let's say he uses a normal car, but if, for instance, after he closes from work, he then around that time is also around the time when a lot of people close from work, which is around 5:30 p.m. So if he closes around that time and then he gets the first trip, the first trip is going to take him to a place where it's more of a residential area. Now, the tendency that he's going to get something to come out of that place is quite low, and it depends also on the place, right? Because more people are leaving the work area to go to the residential area. So you must also be very picky on which parts of Abuja you go to, especially around that time. Let me give you an instance. If a person books you from Barnex and they want you to take them to Kubwa or Buhari or Shafa, the chances that you may get something out is very, very low, because those are residential areas. If you see, the traffic is on the side of the road that is coming back into those areas, not the parts that are going in, because very few people are actually trying to make their way into town around that time, right? That may be an issue here. That may be, again, I don't know because he didn't tell me for sure, but that may be an issue. Maybe he goes to such an area and then when he gets there, there are no customers to come back into town with, so he tends to just idle drive back into the town. okay, that may cause your fuel to burn. So essentially that means he's probably going to fuel his car some more, and then, well, it's just going to cost him a lot more fuel than originally intended. That's what I mean. Okay, so but this sort of thing comes with a bit of an experience. After you've experienced some areas, then you know, no, don't really go there. I don't think it's such a good idea. It's a good price to go, but don't go there, man. It's not here nor there. Okay. Another thing is he didn't give me his stats for maintenance. I also didn't ask, but yeah. So I don't know what it is I have to deduct from, the whole amount of nets that he got for maintenance. And then if we're going to go by the metrics he gave us, which is 45 to 50k profit per week, then we would say his monthly profit falls within 180 to 200k. This is very good, right? This is very good considering that you also have a 9 to 5 job and you're able to make this much. This is very good. However, now this is just my own analysis. In reality, okay, he probably doesn't work every single day, Monday to Friday, because of fatigue, because of exhaustion. It's very important we throw this in there. We are not machines, okay? There will be days where you just can't go anymore. After the work day, you just want to go home. The last thing you want to do is keep on your steering and drive. I actually heard the story, very sad story, from one of my customers who said their colleague after work wanted to go and hustle. He had a Corolla. He wanted to go around and do a bit of ride sharing, and then he actually ran into a very, very horrible accident in the beggar roundabout around midnight actually, and he had to sleep in the hospital. It was that bad. So I am guessing that he doesn't work Monday to Friday every single night. Maybe he was able to do it for a week, maybe 2 weeks, but consistently probably not. Some days will not be that favorable to you. So I want to, based on my assumption, I want to project that his profit, as opposed to 180 to 200, I want to project it at 150. Let's say some days he goes, some days he doesn't go. Some days he even gets a little bit more than 20,000 in gross. Some other days maybe a little bit less, but then he has a general average of like 20 whenever he goes out for work. So you can understand why this person is still on the right track. I really love his work culture. Just a few moments and then 20k gross profit, and then he's done for the day. I really, really love that work culture. If you can even adopt it, that'll be very good, especially if you work, well, even if you don't work 9 to 5 jobs. So that's the analysis we have for this week of July. My goals were not entirely met, but I guess some of it, as far as savings is concerned, we did good. Weekly revenue, not really. We didn't do very well on that, and I think we're still above 60% when it comes to gross income compared to our net. It's still very good. Okay, so hopefully for the month of August we will review that in September, and I wish to find more analysis or more reports to analyze. Okay, I really, really love, like, big ups to this person. His name, oh sorry, so but big ups to him. Actually, he's doing a very, very fine job, but perhaps just adding 1 or 2 more tips to it, he can do a lot more better. Okay, don't forget to send in your own reports. Okay, keep meticulous record. We can analyze it together, and then we'll see where we can improve, where we can make adjustments, just so that your profitability can be just as much and just as high. Okay, there's a whole bunch of money to be made, so don't lose out on this things. All right, so I'll see you next month, next week. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.